Firstly, welcome everyone today for coming for this very important announcement. It's a proud day for our club. I'll acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, past and present. I've got an apology from our CEO, Philip Gardner, who had a pre-arranged trip overseas. He's done a lot of work for this deal to happen. So without further ado, I'll throw over to KP for an announcement.
Yeah, we're proud, honoured and humbled to announce that I'll be extending with the Newcastle Knights for a further 5 years. It's a proud moment to sit here, I guess on my terms and our terms, both as a club and myself as a fan and our family, to make this announcement. So yeah, just proud.
Did you feel pressured to make this announcement today after the circus, I guess you could call it, in the middle?
I think for me, I've sort of known what I was going to do for a little while now. It's sitting here now is actually pretty surreal. I think you look back over the last 4 years, even since when I come to the Knights, I've had questions about what I'm doing. So I've never felt rushed in my decision. I've never felt like I wasn't making the decision on my terms. I've always been patient and I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that. So yeah, I think now that I sit here, I wasn't rushed or pressured. I've been content with my decision for a little while now, and I'm just grateful that I get to make it on my terms.
5 years is a long time in sport. What made you make that final decision that Newcastle was the place for the next 5 years?
Everything that's going on in the club right now. I've been here for 4 years and I've worked hard to get to this position. The people that are on board within these walls, they've probably made me want to stay. I just see the vision of the club, where the club's moving, everyone that's involved, how many people are working hard to really, we've all got the same goal at the moment, and that's to win. And I don't want to walk away from that. I want to be at the front end of that. I want to steer that, and I want to do it for the next 5 years.
Obviously, the last 4 years haven't been easy. The club's still building. You mentioned over those last 4 years, premiership is what you want. How do you get that for yourself and for the club over the next 5 years?
Yeah, it's not going to be rosy every day, every week. There's a lot of hard work that gets, to earn one of the premiership. For us, it's just about sticking at what we're doing and working hard. As he's again at the front of that, he's working hard, and as a playing group, there's definitely a culture here now that wants to win. Everyone's got the same goal, and for me, I want to be, like I said, at the front of that.
Being handed the premiership, the captain
that would be nice.
Being made captain this year, did that, I guess, was that part of the deal to keep you here as well?
It wasn't a part of any deal. I've always wanted to be a leader. I've said that probably internally in my own support system, I guess, for a long time now. Before this year, I think it was just a natural progression. If I wasn't captain, I still wanted to be a leader in this team. I think being a fullback, being the position I am, I always wanted to lead. So being the captain of this club, I don't take lightly either. I'm very proud to do that. I'm glad I've got a group of men that are easy to lead, and I've had great leaders before me as well.
You said, Kalyn, that you'd made up your mind for a while. You were staying for a while. You did have a meeting with Wayne about the Dolphins. Was that ever an option at any stage?
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, yeah, definitely was. For me, the way we've always gone about things is you put all the options on the table, and so that you know what's in front of you. I think if you're going to sign for 5 years, you kind of want to know what's going on. So for me, I just put everything on the table and then made a decision. And once I made that decision, I've been happy with it.
Adam, has it been tough to manage for you as a coach the team in the last 6 weeks?
No, not at all. I think Kalyn's shown a lot of respect to his teammates and his club by the way he's prepared each and every day for that week's game. I think the weekend showed that, the way he played. So, and I think his teammates have showed him a lot of respect and been really patient. So, I haven't seen any sort of, you know, dip in his attitude or any sort of stress in his life. He's been as committed as he was over the summer when I actually gave him the captaincy. It was, he's a very driven young man. He knows what he wants to get out of the, you know, the next 5 years. He knows what we're capable of, and yeah, the last 6 weeks, it's a process that players go through, and I get that Kalyn is, you know, a little higher profile than others, but no, he's. The one thing for the coach has always got a radar out for is it bothering them? Is it going to affect them in the game? And it hasn't. Do you think there'll be a spring in the step, even given what you've just said, that it's done, he's staying for the teammates? Is that, do you see there's going to be a benefit? Yeah, going on the reaction of the group this morning when KP stood out in front of them and told them, there's already a reaction.
Adam, how important is Kalyn's signing a Kalyn to what you want to achieve at the club?
Yeah, massive. I'm not going to understate that at all. It's a, you know, I'll be honest, it's a real shot in the arm for our players, but also for myself and for the staff. You know, that to have him commit, you know, it's 5 years that he's committed to us, so that tells me that he sees that we're on the right path, and I know that the current ladder may not suggest that at the moment, but I know that we are on the right track. We've got the right people in the joint. They're passionate about working hard, and I think Kalyn can see that and wants to be, as he said, at the forefront. He drives a lot of it too. So yeah, I'm not going to lie, it's a privilege to coach him, and I've been lucky enough throughout my, you know, short career to be involved with some players that are up there with Kalyn's calibre, and he certainly is, you know, belongs at that group. He brings a lot of people to this game. There's a lot of young kids that are running around backyards pretending they're KP. So, you know, it's great for our town, it's great for our club, our team, but it's great for rugby league in general. We get him here for another 5 years in our sport, and I think sometimes that gets overlooked when we want to drag this process through the mud. That's been, you know, that's overlooked. He's good for this sport and for all the people that are involved in it.
Kalyn, what do you want to say to the fans? Is there anything that you want to say to them about what they can expect from you now with the club?
Yeah, I think our fans know how much we appreciate them. And nearly after every interview or after every game, we're always mentioning how loyal and supportive they are. Yeah, this is home, and I'm happy here. My family's happy here, and put all that other stuff to bed now and just get focused on winning a comp here. So, yeah, they know how much I appreciate them, and it's part of being a Newcastle Knight. You know, is representing them and running out each week. You know, if it's raining or hailing or whatever, there's still 10,000 plus. So we're very lucky to have our fans, and they know how much they mean to me as well.
Kalyn, you've spoken on a number of occasions about how you want to win a premiership, and that was going to be one of the deciding factors in your decision. Is this to be taken as your opinion of the Knights' chances as against the Dolphins' chances of winning a premiership in the next 5 years?
I can't speak about the Dolphins. I can only speak about what I know. I know.
But you've spoken to their coach.
Yeah.
And he obviously couldn't convince you that he was going to be able to offer you a premiership within a reasonable amount of time. I
think to answer your question respectfully in the short, I feel like my I guess the vision here is more for me. Again, I've worked hard the last 4 years to get to this position, and I want to work hard the next 5 years as a Knight to win a comp. Yeah, I can just see, I can feel, and it's probably been more so the last 6 months, the way the club's gone about people within the walls, the players that we have here. Yeah, I feel it was more comfortable for me to stay here.
Danny, how important do you think this signing is?
It's a huge one for the club going forward. There's no doubt about that, Hamo. I think you know, it was a lot of attention around that. There's pressure from, you know, probably externally, but internally we wanted to make sure that this was right. So it was going to take a process to work through. Highly respectful of the way Kalyn and his team went about it. It's a 5-year deal, and I'm really happy that he's come up with this decision because, as the coach has said, he's working really hard to make sure we can bring this premiership to Newcastle, but more importantly, consistency. I think getting distractions and getting down to work is really important. But that's one thing we've got in rugby league at all times is contract negotiations, and I'm really proud of the way the club's handled it. We like to handle our business behind closed doors. Just want to give a shout out to our head of recruitment, Clinton Zammit, did a really good job on making sure this happened, and worked really hard to make sure it happened.
Kalyn said he was cool with the way it all panned out, and Adam just said the same. Was this something that the staff behind the scenes, people like yourself, were working incredibly hard on? Was it a 24-hour thing? Was it keeping you awake at night?
No, a lot of things keep me awake at night at the moment, but I think for this process, when I heard that Cap had, I was just hoping, fingers crossed, because you can just see the vision he's got for the club, and the vision we've got for the club is aligned, and getting players to buy into that vision, what we've all got, is important, and we can see where that's heading. So, yeah, extremely proud of the decision that's been made by Kalyn and his team, but more importantly, I just can't wait to see what he can do in the next 5 years and where he can take his game, because that's the most important thing, is where he can take his game.
So Kalyn, the contract now, I think ones you've signed in the past have had clauses that to be ticked off by this stage. Is this just 5 years and that's like you're locked in now for 5 years?
Yeah, I'll probably answer that. So in basic, yeah, it's 5 years.
Yeah, so that must be a weight off your mind, I guess, because all these ones with like the, you have to sign by this date and all that sort of stuff. So instead of being able to focus just on footy, this is now literally 5 years just footy.
Yeah, it is just footy. It's been just footy the last 4.5 years though. So it's funny how it is going to be good to have all the rugby union and other questions after games out the window. Now that everyone knows that I am dedicated, actually I always have been, but I guess that 5-year stamp sort of cements that. But I've always been like that. I've always been dedicated to wherever I am at that point in time, and it's 5 years now at the Knights.
It's peace of mind for the fans, I guess. Too.
Yeah, it is peace of mind. I guess it is for everyone. Yeah.
I suppose a question for both Danny and Andre. Given what's happened, would you, Danny, want to sign another contract like the one that Kalyn's?
Yeah, to answer that, Kalyn's a unique talent. That's what I've always seen Kalyn's unique talent. So with unique talent brings unique contracts. So I wouldn't like to see those contracts handed out too many times. But the option Kalyn did have a number of years ago was, a big vision for himself, whether or not it was going to be the All Blacks or winning a competition, wherever it is. But so I was always patient, and to have him under our roof, I think that's always been a privilege. I always looked at it that way, and just so glad he's in the red and blue. And to make that happen, you have to come across those contracts every now and then. But to have a 5-year plan now where it's just no clauses, we can all look forward and build around that, super exciting.
And Andre, was the hassle worth it?
Was that hassle worth it, sir?
What was the hassle about that contract? Was it worth it at the end, do you think?
It was a pretty simple process for us. I think the good thing we can control is when you do things with integrity and honourable in this game, it goes a long way to who you are as a person, as a family.
Andre, there's been a lot of comment and speculation about your role in this. Did that impact you in any way, or how did you sort of feel about the way that was covered in the media?
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't speak on, is it Dennis, the bullfrog, Richie? He takes control of that himself. What I can say though is, when someone does something that's not honourable, and such a happy occasion like today too, that person has to be accountable for that. But we're here to celebrate this, this occasion.
Obviously, we don't know the minute details of this contract. Obviously, it's going to be quite lucrative. Does that put any pressure on you, knowing that you need to aim up to that dollar tag over the next 5 years?
No. Again, my role really is just, I think for me now it's leaders lead. I want to lead. I want to stay consistent. That's probably the main thing for me too. But you do that by day in, day out prep. I'm fortunate enough to come in here with a group of men and staff that, like I've said already, they have the same goal and we've got all the same drive. So throughout this whole process, I didn't feel pressured from the boys or staff or anyone really to make this decision, and that speaks to volume about the boys that I'm around. I think they respect me, and that'll be the same for the next 5 years.
Danny, do you think Kalyn can have as much influence on this club as someone like Andrew Johnson?
Yeah, you talk about a generational player in Joey, and I see Kalyn in the same frame there, that's for sure. I guess having success is highly important, and ticking that box, which we all know what that box is bringing success to the club and bringing success to the region. So I'm sure Kalyn will be thriving and striving to do that, and we've got to support him in every action to make that happen. So we've got to keep working hard to keep improving all parts of our organisation. That's recruitment, that's coaching, everything we need to do to make success and to support Kalyn in his endeavours and dreams to make that happen. So back to work. This is another big signing for the club, a big era of 5 years coming up, and we've got to keep working hard to make that happen.
Adam, I'm sure you'll be feeling a bit happier come press conference time that you won't pop a lot of these questions you have been for the last weeks.
Yeah, I'd prefer to do the post-game presser about the game, which they haven't been too kind either with our results, but yeah, it'll be a welcome change.
You had, I understand, a one-on-one session with Andrew this morning. Did you discuss this?
No.
What did you do?
No, we talked a lot about footy. Did you want to know what we talked about? Yeah, so we talked a lot about like the details of ball playing. He's pretty good, Joey, he obviously is a very smart man. So we were out there for an hour maybe just talking about footy, which was good. Obviously any time that you get with Joey you really appreciate. I was definitely listening to what he had to say.